There you go.
Oh, amazing. Oh, great. So,
We'll leave the house with us, lens wipe.
this is your little.
Oh.
There you go. So you just
I'm so scared.
do you want to get here? Is that...
Oh.
Right, okay. Right, that should be.
If I listen go, right on my tongue.
Right, let's give this a wipe. There we go. Right. Oh yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, I won't leave the house without.
Very good. Oh yeah, that's fabulous. Thank you very much for being here, Peter. It's really kind of you to like. Joy, this is Peter, everyone, and and let's just talk about because you're an HGV driver.
I am, yes.
So what does that actually mean? What is an HGV driver? What does it stand for, and what is that?
Heavy goods vehicle.
Heavy goods vehicle. Okay. And how long have you been doing it for?
Here in the UK, for over 10 years.
Over 10 years. Wow,
Yeah.
you must have seen so much stuff. My gosh, that is a
Yeah.
long time.
Right.
So have you seen much like when you're like me doing my makeup? Have you seen much like when you're high up in your HGV, like looking down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
People doing their makeup like this.
One of my colleagues actually had an accident where the lady was putting the makeup on and drove into him.
I read about one of those. Someone doing their makeup and she just like drove straight into somebody.
Yeah.
I did read about that, and I've heard about HGV drivers seeing like horrible things through the windows.
Yes. Yeah.
So what's the main thing that you see then when you look like down and you're driving? What's the worst thing?
It's most of the time the phone. Most of the time, 99% of the time, is the phone.
Yeah.
It's mostly the phone, yes.
Yeah, of course. Doesn't surprise me at all. You've been an HGV driver for 10 years in England.
Yes.
And what are your working hours? Like how many hours do you do as set standard a week? Like how much do you do?
The normal shift, it comes like it varies, but we tend to do 13, 15 hour shifts, so like we're pretty much working out to the maximum. 2 years of nights, so that was the happiest 2 years of my life. No, it wasn't.
Oh my God, all through the night? All through the night?
Yeah.
Wow.
Start at 8 o'clock and finishing sometime around 9, 10, 11
Wow.
in the morning next day.
And do you get breaks? Do you have to sleep and I mean, how does that work?
I do not sleep out, do not do night outs. Some driver does, I personally don't, because that's my personal choice. I prefer to go home every night and sleep in the bed, sleep in a proper bed. For the working hours, you can
Your working hours, is that 20? Oh, I see. It started at 6, finished at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, starting at 6, finishing at 7:30, starting at 6, finishing at 7, starting at 6. It's a long day.
Yeah.
6 till 9, that one. Gosh, yeah, that is long, isn't it? Ooh.
Yeah. I used to have 18 drops the place I used to work at, 18 drops a day.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean night.
Yeah, 18 jobs a night.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had to dip myself, so that was I had to take the milk off of the lorry by hand.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. So not only have you got all those hours, then you've actually got to unload it as well.
Mm-hmm. And
Gee.
off the record.
Yeah, okay. Gosh, it's so important to take breaks and be like awake and get your coffee in.
Many of the lorries are equipped with a bed.
Oh,
so
right.
you can do have a nice break. You can sleep out. Many comes with microwave, so actually you can actually leave in the cab for a week or so. But I don't do that. No.
Wow,
That was
that's
the question,
crazy.
wasn't it?
So you can actually. So there's a microwave inside as well.
Yeah, microwave, fridge.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
If your employer is kind enough, he will have a telly in there for you.
A teddy.
Telly.
Oh, I thought you said teddy.
No, you have to. No, you have,
I'm so sorry.
They won't supply that. No, you have to.
If
bring
he's
your
kind
own
enough,
telly.
he'll leave a teddy in there for you, just for company. I'm sorry. That's okay.
No, you have to. You have
I'd
to
prefer
take
the
care
teddy.
about yourself. I always have to bring my own.
If there's a telly though, is there strict rules about when you can and can't use the
No,
telly?
it's right behind you, isn't it?
Oh, it's behind you.
It should be. If it's built in, that would be behind the driver's seat.
Okay. I say there's like a bedroom in the
So,
back,
like,
basically.
Yes. Some lorry comes with one only bed. Some comes with 2 beds. In some you can fold the sofa out of the bed and the dining table. If that would be an Iveco. You can fold the dining table out of the bed. It is very comfy.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Also, if I was sleeping out, I would be doing the absolute maximum possible. We paid by hour, so
Right.
like you could get paid by hour or paid by shift. We do get paid by hour, so the longer the shift, the more we get paid. The tachograph rules are only allowing us to work 15 hours maximum a day.
Right.
And in fact, we would have everyone have to have 11 hours of break, daily rest, right?
So let's talk about like being on a motorway or just generally driving. So like this is the kind of stuff that my students are going to be interested in, or people like that. So let's talk about the speed limits that you're allowed to do. So tell me about like what restrictions you have, and does it make a difference if you've got a load or if you haven't got a load, that kind of stuff?
A lot depends on the road, of course, because like my job is to deliver the thing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, not to get from A to B, but to deliver something from A to B.
Yeah.
So I have to drive in a way, like with the road in my mind, if it makes sense. So like, if I was delivering dairy products, as like milk, you know, you get them still in a glass bowl. You can be doing two. It's not really for the speed limit, because once you're at speed, it doesn't really matter. But you can be going around corners too fast.
I see. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so because when I'm driving and you see a truck going really slow, sometimes you just think, why are you going so slow? But it could actually be the load that they're containing. They could have milk or something, like, and they don't want to smash the bottles. That's interesting. Yes. See, I didn't know that. I mean, so because my students obviously are driving cars, we've got the national speed limit sign, the white one with the black slash, and we're allowed to go on a dual carriageway, let's just say, or motorway. We're allowed to do 70. Yes. But obviously the heavy goods vehicle, which is, I assume yours is over 7.5 tons. Is that right? I've only done 6 times the amount. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I'm not an HGV driver. Okay. And on an English dual carriageway or motorway, what are you allowed to do speed wise on a motorway or dual carriageway?
That would be 60 mile an hour speed limit. Yeah. And but we are restricted to 56.
Right. Okay. I get it. Cool.
Which is 90 kilometers per hour, which is the European regulation.
Yeah. Because when I'm teaching my students on a motorway, when we're in the first lane and we see a larger vehicle, I always say that's a really big vehicle, so it's highly likely to be over 7.5 tons. I'm like, that person's going to be doing 60, a top speed of 60, so it's very likely that we're going to need to overtake. So, but you have a restriction of 56.
Yes.
Inside the actual, yeah.
Very rare cases. I mean, it is 56. It's probably going to appear to you like we are doing more than 56, but it's just because of the calibration of your car, of everyone's car. There is a limiter built into everything, every heavy good vehicle, and the limiter on the lorries was set to 56, or supposed to be set to 56. Some of the supermarket lorries used to do 53 only to save fuel. It's been changed. It's changed recently. They do 56 now as well. Buses, however, do 60 mile an hour, more or less bang on.
On a single track road, you're allowed to do 50, and you might go slower because of the cargo that you've got, because of milk and stuff like that, bends and stuff. It might be that you go slower, and then on dual carriageways and motorways, same. I guess the way that you're braking as well needs to be extremely careful, so you don't like break any of your milk bottles or whatever you're.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the brakes of the brakes have improved a lot, even from what they used to be 10 years ago. So, if I'm empty, I won't stop in a distance a car would, but we can come to a stop very, very, very quick. Although we don't really want to with any sort of load on, because the load knows physics and they will just keep going forward, you know.
That's really interesting. I'd like to talk about that a little bit more. So basically, if you're in say for instance you were in the left lane and you're doing your 60 or your 56 because you're
that's what we can do. Yeah.
So I've got a question. If you are, I often see lorry drivers driving extremely close to each other, and I wonder about like why that's happening when I'm trying to teach my students have a 2-second rule in front of the person in front if it's dry conditions, or if it's raining, a 4-second rule, or larger if it's snowing, obviously, but that's different because probably wouldn't go out driving then with a student. But like, why do the trucks like seem to drive so close to each other?
So for us to overtake each other, we're gonna have to go so close before we can pull out. The reason we have to go so close to each other, because if I change lanes 2 seconds, like the other lorry is 2 seconds in front of me, and I change lanes, there will be like 15 cars driving up on my inside.
Okay.
And going around both of us.
I see. So you're worried about people undertaking you.
And my overtaking that lorry could take ages. Like I don't want to go into saying numbers, but like let's say if it takes me a minute to overtake that lorry, imagine I pull out to like that far.
I see.
It's dangerous, but this is a practice we have to unfortunately we have to live with, because like you see many times we're coming up to the lorry in front of us closer than 10 meters.
Yeah.
10 meters is literally, I like if he slams his brakes on, I won't even have time to realize what happened. You know?
I know, that's the problem. I can understand what you're saying, and it totally makes sense. Like, so when you're going for the overtake, the lorry will go closer to the other one and then overtake last minute, because if they do it earlier, then people are going to undertake and go through the gap.
And also you're holding the traffic up. So
you're holding the traffic
sitting for that long in the second lane is not ideal for anyone.
I see, that makes sense. It just seems so dangerous, you know, like, I mean, what you've just said is like, they're travelling so close. I mean, I understand, I can see it from your point of view now about like the people undertaking, and you're holding the people up in the middle lane. So that totally makes sense to me. But it must feel really scary to be behind a vehicle that close and not know whether he's going to stop for a queue of traffic in his lane because he's watching YouTube, or the slip road on the left has been busy and there's a pile up. There's like a risk in that.
I am trying to pull out a lot earlier now, or just fall back, and when there is you know, later or sooner I will be separated from the lorry doing just a little bit less than me. So it's either an uphill bit where I'll be slower or I'll be faster. We're gonna get separated, so
Yeah.
I don't have to follow him forever. And half a mile less or more in speed it doesn't really make that much of a difference.
You can also run the risk, if you're following distances too close and you decide to overtake, that what happens if you overtake and then there's stopped traffic in the middle lane?
You kind of see that.
Okay.
So, but again, we're sitting a lot higher. So if I'm coming close, I'm like when I realize I'll have to overtake, I'll keep my eyes on the mirror and on the traffic in front. We can see a lot more than a car driver can,
Yeah.
or anyone in a car can.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you can, yeah, I mean so you can forward plan so much better maybe than a car. What safety checks do you have to do? Because like before we leave, we need to we do the flower technique. Like, so you check your fuel, you check your lights, you check your oil, you check your water, your electrics and your rubber. So that's your flower technique,
That's
which
cute.
is quite cute. Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet. But do you
No, nobody was brave enough to call it like that yet.
the flower? Not in a massive like macho kind of alpha male, like, yeah. I can say the flower technique because I'm a woman.
So we do have to do a daily walk around check every day, whether I was nighting out with the lorry or not. So even if I'm using the same lorry, so like I park up tonight, sleep in the lorry, but in the morning when I wake up, I'm gonna still have to do my walk around checks. That's basically a small MOT.
Oh, right.
Tires, brakes, steering, lights, windscreen, mirrors, horn, everything you can think of.
That is interesting. I'm glad.
To go around, check all the tires. We got 6 of them on the trailer. Check all the bolts on the tires, the tread depth, how worn the tire is, if I can see any cords or not, because we are spinning around, you know, like. We have to spin around, and the trailer actually pretty much very often the tires are staying in the same spot.
This is why you can't dry steer, guys. You must move a little bit whilst you're steering, otherwise you're going to damage your tyres.
Yeah.
That's really important.
Very bad. I actually can show you.
Yeah, great.
What we're going to have to go through. So this is the app we use for our checks.
Oh, right. There's an app for that.
Yeah.
I'm aware of my legal responsibilities in regarding vehicle condition and the procedures. I must report any defects to the Traffic Fleet Office. Interesting. So you're definitely supposed to do the checks as you walk around. That is like, it is absolutely...
Yeah. So I have to check the height indicator, because every lorry have to have a height indicator in the cab. Which you
and they still go under they still take the tops off. Like,
you know, I have nothing to say. I don't even know.
They lodged themselves under the bridge. They did it in Swindon Village. They literally took the top off. Oh my goodness. I mean, like, really? Don't you know how big
twice a day this happens.
Oh, come on.
Oil level, water level, seat belt, if it was correctly, instrument panel, ABS and EBS, manual controls, wipers. Have to take a photo of the one side and the other side. Horn, mirrors, cameras, screens, speedo and tachograph.
That's fascinating.
The lights, headlights, side lights, marker and reverse light direction, stop and tail lights, reversing lights.
Flipping hell, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. So there's an app for that. So you've got to check
Fog
everything.
lights.
It's fantastic. Okay.
Tires, wings and sprays, suppressions, unit suspension, body, oil leaks, air lines, air leaks, electrical connections, battery cover, number plate, mirror mountings, lift extra fuel tank, and then you have to, like, this is where you have to take a photo of the...
That is so thorough. I've always been very cautious about being in the blind spot, or if there's high winds, you know, if you like go beside it and then you come out the other side, you can get blown by the wind. So you've got to be really careful about like how the wind is going to affect you when you go past these large vehicles. But like, I've never thought about being in the middle lane and then the tyre bursting or the person sneezing. That's really interesting.
We're humans too, you know.
Yeah.
Or just changing the track on the iPad or no iPad, iPod, what it was.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Let's talk about the blind spots. How big are the blind spots?
It depends on, you know, with these digital mirrors, with
the digital mirror being inside the cab, yeah?
Mm-hmm. They actually, if I'm coming up to a roundabout, I literally have to lean forward to look around the mirror, because they hide, they could hide an SUV.
Oh my goodness! Right, okay.
Which,
So we
yeah.
always say that if you can't see the mirrors of the truck, then they can't see you. Do you think that's good advice? Like,
yes, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be quite a big, depending on how long the vehicle is, that's going to be quite a big space.
That blind spot is actually not the biggest problem when we're traveling on the motorway.
Oh right.
The blind spot at the near side front corner is the biggest problem, because this is the reason we don't really like to shift over to the second lane when car drivers trying to join, because some of them will speed. As soon as I move over, they will speed up and go away anyway before even they join the motorway. So that leaves me there like an idiot. But some will just sit around the lorry, you know, so they will stay there for miles and miles to come, and they would not move over. So in that case, for their own safety, I'll have to put my indicator on, telling them that I want to move back over into the first lane. Because they, like, you know, if I let them stay there, there is a chance that I will just forget, and they'll get themselves into the blind spot on the front corner, and this is how you T-bone a car.
Oh God,
You know?
that's petrifying
I mean,
as well. So, okay, let's just talk about signals for a minute. Like if I'm in the middle lane and then I'm overtaking a HGV, sometimes I've noticed that they put their signal on and then they just start coming over straight away. They don't actually give me much time to be able to cope with that situation, and actually they can get quite angry about it. I've noticed if I'm just there like minding my own business and then they signal and then literally start coming over, you're then in a position of like, is there anybody in the third lane? Can I go over and get out of their way? Do I need to back off, or do I need to increase my speed? Would you say that that's like a bad HGV driver that I've come in contact with there, or is there something going on that like we should all know about HGVs changing lanes like with the signal like that?
There could be an immediate something, some like surprising. Well, how do you call this when
Shocked, like they're shocked by something in their lane?
When something unexpected happened and they really need to move over. I, as an HGV driver, have to be able to plan my next move. Like, it's not like I'm not going to be able to jump lane. I'll need 200 meters to safely carry out a maneuver. So yes, if I put my indicator on, that indicates that I will want to move over. If you have, like, if you're next to me, I put my indicator out, I'll just stay put until you go past, right?
Yeah, that sounds normal to me.
What happens very often, the car behind you will speed up, and this is why it's still no reason to push you off the road, right?
Right, okay, gonna go for a drive and go down the slip road and talk about it in more depth, and then you'll hopefully can video it from your perspective with your own
I was going to
phone.
wait for you to tell me to put my seatbelt on, but
I'm afraid that's your responsibility. Yeah. It says in the highway code quite clearly that it's your responsibility.
just punch me in the face with it.
Right, okay, let's go.